Welcome back to my channel, beautiful people. Welcome back. Welcome back. As you don't know, when I listen to the bloggers them, when it come to Jamaica business, the news, the health, nothing. Accident, nothing at all. Me not listen to the Jamaican bloggers them. Anything more on concrete, I'm gonna listen to Nationwide or Emily Shields or Dan Jackson Miller. All right, me not listen to bloggers. Now the IC today give the clearest hint what is the issue going forward, and them declare to Andrew Holness to declare his certification, to certify his declaration, whichever way. All right. Now the blogger them don't like this. The PNP them not gonna like this. Not gonna like this because the blogger them are gonna report opposite. Some in a go part them there. I'm going to part the credible information. Now, me have two things to say to you now. Just two things. You see this illicit 600 there I talk about and I run with and a campaign with. Anyhow the IC report on it and there's none, the PNP no problem. And anyhow the IC report on Andrew Holness statutory declaration and get it certified, the PNP worse not have no chance. So the only two chance the PNP have right now is if Andrew Holness declaration have a problem and if there is a real illicit 6. Now when you listen to the IC, they are making notes that thousands of cases they have and it backlog how long is only when you listen to this you're gonna know. So when you listen to where Cliff user say from Nationwide and him team them, because you're not gonna get this nowhere else. If you go on none of the regular blogger them are gonna give you spin the story. So this are the closest and the cleanest and the truthest information so far. So listen to Cliff Hughes and make him statement with him team so you can understand which part the Integrity Commission reach based on what I'm supposed to table in a parliament. Remember, we not listen to the bloggers them because them spread pure misinformation. You see, even this what Cliff Hughes put out, them are gonna spin it. All right. But me just want to know say on the ear writer sir from Cliff Hughes. So we're gonna go into the story and hear what Cliff Hughes have to say.
Critical word.
Yes.
Nearing the point where it can make a definitive statement on the filings of the Prime Minister. This has been a very, very hot political and controversial issue, frankly. The opposition has been hammering the Prime Minister and the government over the failure of the Integrity Commission to certify his reports going nearly 3 years now.
Nearly 3 years. This year would make it 3 years.
Which is very untenable. So, Ricardo Brooks has been going through those excerpts of the report we have been able to put our hands on.
You can listen to the excerpt.
It's been nearly 3 years since the Integrity Commission last certified statutory declarations from Jamaica's Prime Minister. During that time, much of the public debate surrounding Holness's statutory declarations has been shrouded in innuendo, speculation, and in some instances, outright lies. The opposition PNP has been hammering Holness over the matter. On Tuesday, the only body in the country empowered to make a definitive comment on the matter broke its silence. Well, partially. The Integrity Commission in its annual report says its processes are nearing completion with respect to the Prime Minister's declarations. Importantly, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is not the only legislator whose statutory declarations have not been certified. The Commission revealed that 35 of the declarations filed by the 63 members of Parliament are work-in-progress examinations. 32 declarations of senators bear a similar designation. These declarations are for the 6-year period beginning April 2018 and ending March 2024. The Commission's chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton, says while much has been said and written about the non-certification of Holness's declarations, the public must be reminded that the Director of Information and Complaints must make such inquiries as considered necessary to determine the accuracy of the declarations filed. It would appear that the process of determining the accuracy of the filings may be causing some of the delay. Prime Minister Andrew Holness told our news centre on Monday that he had written to the Commission more than once regarding his declarations.
They have written to me, I've written back to them, and it is still a matter for the Integrity Commission. Like you, I too am anxious to have this matter resolved.
But what is the
If it
nature
were-
of the issue that you keep having to respond about?
The general issue of the Integrity Commission is that they do an entire audit on your financials and your personal finances, and for me, going back several years. And that takes time because it is just not my response alone that they have to await. They have to await the responses of several other agencies, entities. It's a very detailed process. And I don't want to comment on it too much because the nature of the process is that the Integrity Commission is the entity that really should give the final disclosure and approval.
Mr. Holness has acknowledged that he has been losing political capital over the non-certification of his declarations. But he says, though the prolonged process of non-certification may seem unfair to him, he will not complain.
One of those things you deal with politically. As I said, it is the process, and I have followed the process as best as I can, and I can only await the Integrity Commission. I am in an invidious position because I am the one that has to ensure that the law is respected, and therefore you will never hear me make any complaint. Even if I feel it has been unfair and unduly so to me, you will never hear me complain.
Whether the Commission's brief statement on the state of Holness's declarations will quell public debate is to be seen. Ricardo Brooks for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Ricardo. So let's step back for a moment. We heard about the so-called illicit six, and of course, in that mix, the Prime Minister's declarations not being certified.
Yes.
And this is the one that has really, what's the word? Look bad.
Yes. Occupied public attention.
Yes.
And debate.
Because it is frankly unacceptable, untenable for the head of government to have running 2-3 years now his declarations not being certified.
No two ways about that. And I want to draw the listeners' attention, Cliff, to a particular aspect of the report where the chairman says, it must be remembered that to satisfy himself, and he's speaking here about the Director of Information and Complaints, to satisfy himself of the due completion of a statutory declaration, the Director shall make such inquiries as he considers necessary. The inquiries are aimed at determining accuracy. Mm-hmm. So herein, the chairman seems to be suggesting that, look, this is part of the process. We've been given information, and based on what the Act requires, the Director of Information and Complaints must satisfy himself that the information given is accurate. Mm-hmm. The chairman goes on to reference obstacles, and he mentions that at least in one instance, the Commission has had to turn to the courts to get financial institutions to comply with requests for information.
Yes.
The way this flows to me suggests that Seymour Panton is telling us that it's not as clear-cut in certifying a declaration as we would expect or want it to be, and that they're doing their due diligence to ensure that
they get it right.
Right. Now, juxtapose that to what the Prime Minister told us just here yesterday, that they have written to him, he has written back, and it's a detailed process, and he did say yesterday, going back some years, and they have to make sure, according to Seymour Panton here, that they satisfy themselves that the information is accurate.
Yes, so may I tell you? You listen carefully. May I go say it again. Anyhow, there is no illicit six from the Jamaica Labour Party side when it come to the IC. Mark Golding in trouble. Anyhow, Andrew Holness statutory declaration is being certified, Mark Golding will be into trouble, because these are the two things he keep on campaigning on and nothing else. He will never tell the nation what he has done, what he will be doing better than the current government. The only slogan him have is time come. And on top of time come, him walk up and down and him just dig. Propaganda. propaganda, and then the bloggers them run with it. 9,000, 10,000 people are watch and then believe. Me know what you know. So I'm gonna listen more about Cliff Hughes and Asai, and Ricardo, and one of the time somebody else gonna come in. I think a Nargi, I'm gonna give you more from what the IC really give them a little hint.
So, these things do not necessarily flow as we would love them to flow.
Right.
From a public perspective.
Yes.
Yes. It's not an easy 1, 2, 3. When you have several institutions confirmed, as you just pointed out, they've had to go to court.
Right, to get information. and you should understand that. I mean, a financial institution would not readily, without judicial guidance, want to hand over financial records of a client.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that refers specifically to the Prime Minister.
We don't know.
We don't. But I just think it instructive that the chairman raises this, he says, as obstacles to the commission. Yeah. We're up on the break. Yeah.
So the key takeaway from this, before we go on, yes, these are the words of the Integrity Commission.
Listen.
Given the restrictions imposed by the Act as regards statutory declarations generally and matters related thereto, I may only say, I being the chairman of the Commission,
yes,
retired Justice Seymour Panton, that the processes of the Commission are nearing completion in respect of the Prime Minister's declarations.
Yes.
You hear again? These people can't follow the bloggers them and speak peer propaganda and misleading information. These people has to speak on truth and wait for the proper documents with them a searcher. You hear the man them say? Them even have to go to the court just to get the bank to release information on people that they are investigating. That means there's something when I take today, tomorrow. But the PNP party, them try the case already. Them already have the answer from the Integrity Commission, while there is no answer. Listen some more.
That's the key sentence.
Indeed.
Right, to be tabled in the House today. They have not yet tabled the report. Yes, we prepared our reporting and we're sharing that reporting with you.
Yes. Another part of the report that we've been able to lay our hands on relates to statutory declarations examined and the outcomes of those examinations. Here's Norgay Banton's report.
There's hardly a Jamaican who has not heard of the so-called illicit six. It's purportedly a group of 6 unnamed members of parliament who are being investigated by the Integrity Commission for having acquired wealth through illicit means. But by the Integrity Commission's own report, that 6 is closer to 60. 61 public officials, to be specific. The Commission says between April 2018 and March 2024, 13 members of Parliament have been referred to it for illicit enrichment or filing false information. Those MPs are not named by the Commission. No member of the Senate has been referred to the Commission over the 6-year period for illicit enrichment. But legislators are not the only public officials being scrutinized for ill-gotten wealth. The Commission says over the period, 2 councillors and a permanent secretary have been on its radar for ill-gotten gains. Again, the individuals are not named. 5 heads of entities, 40 other public officials are also highlighted as being referred over the period. That totals 61 referrals for illicit enrichment and filing false information. The Commission does not specify which officials fall into the category of other public officials. The anti-corruption watchdog has a caution for members of the public. It says it has no control over the numerous complaints and allegations it receives. It says it has a duty to investigate them and make note of its allegations. But importantly, the Commission says the fact that it launches an investigation is not in and of itself remarkable. In fact, the Commission's chairman, retired Justice Seymour Panton, specifically highlights that allegations of crimes sent to the police are sometimes investigated and found to be without merit. Justice Panton says the Commission has no control over speculations rumors, or mischief making in society.
Did
The
you hear that?
question then is the controversy over the illicit six all sound and no fury? That's to be seen. Nora Gay Banton for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Nora. Here again, Ricardo, we have some explaining to do.
Yes.
First of all, get the timeline right. What the report says. These declarations being examined, yes, are for a 6-year period. April 1, 2018 to March 31 this year.
Right.
So it's over 6 years.
Right.
Yeah. April 1, 2018 to March 31, 2024.
Right.
So get that clear first, listeners. The other thing that we need to, it specifies a breakdown, and we should repeat those numbers.
Sure.
Members of Parliament, number of members of Parliament who have been referred to the Director of Investigation for illicit enrichment and
Or false information.
13 in total.
Yes, over that 6-year period.
Over the 6-year period.
No member of the Senate has been referred for that offense.
Only 2 councillors have been so referred.
1 permanent secretary,
5 heads of entities,
40 other public officials. And here I would love a breakdown of this. Other public officials. Are we talking about judges? Who are we talking about in this other public officials? I imagine doctors maybe. I know some of doctors have to file declarations. But this matter came up because at the recent sitting, because the commission was essentially saying it's facing a backlog and it's unable to manage. And the numbers bear it out. Because, Cliff, if I could just take you to that column over here. The number of statutory declarations received, the first column.
let's go down.
Right.
From members of Parliament,
416.
members of the Senate, 133.
Councillors, 1,149.
Permanent secretaries, 115.
Heads of entities, 935.
Other public officials, 162,744, making for a grand total of 165,492 over the 6-year period.
But here, listeners, is where it gets interesting. Of the 416 statutory declarations received by from members of Parliament, the Integrity Commission has only been able to examine 278 of that number.
That's, by my math, 66%.
And then, of that number, has only been able to certify 168.
Yes. So that's less than 50%. Yeah.
Members of the Senate, 133 declarations received. They've only examined 96 of those declarations.
By my math, 72%.
And they've only certified 63 of those declarations over the 6-year period.
That's about, just about...
Notice I'm leaving the math to you.
Yeah, about 40-45%.
Councillors, far worse. 1,149 declarations received. They've only examined 72.
That is 6%. Only 6% of the declarations from councillors have been examined.
And they've only certified 45.
45, so that is about 5% they've certified.
Remind yourself, listeners, this period, April 1, 2018 to March 31, 2024, over a 6-year period. Permanent secretaries. The permanent secretaries have filed 115 declarations with the Integrity Commission over that 6-year period. The Commission has only examined 28.
Which is 24%.
And they've only certified 20.
Which is about 20%.
Heads of entities. The Commission has received 935 declarations. They've only examined 108.
Or 11% of all the declarations received by heads of entities.
And only certified 71.
Oh dear. So that's 71. I didn't do the percentage for that, but quickly that's about 68, 69%.
Other public officials, 162,744 declarations received. They've only examined over that 6-year period 1,706.
Or 1%.
Shabby.
1%.
And they've only certified 1,414.
Less than 1%.
So in total, the
Yes.
Commission has received over that 6-year period 165,492 declarations. They've only certified of that number 2,200, examined rather, of that number 2,288 declarations.
That's 1% as well.
And they've only certified 1,781.
Less than 1%.
The question has to be, as it was raised in the Parliament, how are you fighting corruption if this is how low your return rate is on certification and examination?
Yes.
Surely, if corruption exists, it's slipping through the cracks.
Yeah. Because they're not getting the work done in good time.
And I suspect that's a manpower issue. Yeah?
Yeah.
They don't have the manpower, the resources to be able to go through all of this, which is why, as our parliamentary reporter Siobhan Campbell reminded us, they've requested that the threshold
Yes.
for those who need to file be increased.
Well, you should we give them Siobhan's report on that?
Sure.
Let's hear Siobhan's report.
The Integrity Commission has been in operation since April 1, 2018. Up to March 31, 2024, 165,492 statutory declarations have been received. Of that number, only 2,288 have been examined. That's just shy of 1.4% of total declarations received by the Commission. However, a little under 80% have actually been certified at 1,781. 693 remain works in progress. Members of Parliament have submitted 416 such declarations over the 6-year period. Only 278 have been examined, with 168 certified. 35 are still being examined. Members of the Senate submitted 133, with only 63 having been certified over the period. The bulk of declarations are made up of other public officials at over 162,000. 1,706 have been examined, with 1,414 being certified. The Integrity Commission is not only aware of the scale of the problem, but has actively petitioned lawmakers to fix it. In January this year, after the passage of an affirmative resolution by the House of Representatives, the prescribed threshold for filing statutory declarations was increased from $3.5 million to $12 million. This means the Commission will now have to process only the declarations of 10,000 public officials, down from 40,000 under the previous dispensation. Ultimately, the Commission has called for an adjustment in the law where the declarations of specific officials are processed regardless of salary scale. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
So, increasing the threshold to what, 10 million? 12 million?
But even if
Should ease the problem.
But even if they have to examine and certify only 10,000 public officials now, by these numbers, they'd still come woefully short. Yes. Because, I mean, here, over a 6-year period of 162,744 other public officials, only 1,706 were examined and 1,414 were certified. So, I would hope that they've beefed up their staffing complement.
Yeah.
Yeah? And so they're going to have a better time of it. But my concern here is if the intention is to capture corruption in the dragnet of examination and certification, then I imagine there's a many a slip between the
Lip and
the cup and the lip, because these numbers they're woeful.
yeah. All right. That's
Well, when the earphone itself, this was loud and clear from a reputable media house. No blogger is not gonna bring you these items. I'm gonna repeat for the last time. If Mark Golin have any chance at winning the election, him better make sure say Andrew declaration cannot be certified. and also the illicit six where he's campaigning on up to in the hurricane in a burial. Make sure say we have 6 member of parliament from the Jamaica Labour Party, because Mark Golin said he asks his MPs and nobody is involved. So you have 6 MP but upon the Jamaica Labour Party, allegedly by Mark Golin, and Andrew Holness know about the 6 of them, and Andrew Holness don't want to call them name. So these are the 2 strong points for Mark Golin and hold on pan. And remember me, I tell you now, if these 2 are correct and accurate and good, Mark, you don't have no chance. All right. Thanks for listening. I just want to bring this to now because I know the blogger them are going to twist it and bring it to a different way while we're getting some closure on something the nation need to know, need to talk about, and everybody need to know what's going on with the Prime Minister declaration. Statutory. Reverse it. Have a nice day.